Hey there, in this video we're going to quickly talk about how to set up the billing details for your inventory. So when we talk about billing details, we are generally talking about the list price, the cost of goods, and the single-use status. These dictate how the item will be sold and what it will be sold for. So first we'll head over to our inventory section, and we're going to talk about how to set these at a default level for a catalog item first. So head into your catalog and open up an item, and in the additional information section you'll see we have a bunch of different details here. This allows you to set up the default cost and price for a given catalog number. Now what that means is when you're creating your inventory, if a cost isn't entered, it will default to this cost. If a price isn't entered, it will default to this price. However, these fields can be overwritten at the item level. So if you have a batch of items that you're creating that have a different cost than the default that you've entered here, you can update that when you're creating the inventory. Just enter the cost at the item level. Same thing goes for price. However, you can store these defaults and manage them however you want. So if you want to average out your costs and enter that here, you totally can. Same thing for price. And you also can set the billable status. So this designates whether an item will be sold or not. So you can turn that on at the default level, and when you're creating inventory, these will populate unless you override them. Go ahead and click Save, and then we'll take a look at an individual device. So we'll just open up any device here and open up the billing section. And this is where you can edit all of those different pieces of information at the actual item level. So if this item has its default price of 56, but you want to update it to 60, or if the default cost for this item is not correct, and maybe it was produced at a higher cost, you can update that at the item level, and that will roll up to your total cost when you do your reporting. And then same thing, all of these details are on this individual item, so we can update the billable, we can make this item reusable if we want, because typically when reusable is turned off, that means the item is single use. And what that means is when it's used in a case, it will be deactivated at the end of that case. If an item is marked reusable, then that item will be added back to inventory when the case is submitted for billing. Click Save, and those items will be saved at the item level. Now, one other option you have is to update a group of inventory at once using our new bulk update feature. So if we wanted to plug in our catalog number, now we have all of the items that match this catalog number for that given manufacturer, and we have this button up here in the right corner where we can click bulk update. This is a place where we can go to update the price for a whole bunch of items at once. So, if you want to update the list price for all of the items, this would be the way to do it. You cannot do this in the catalog. Updating the catalog will not overwrite the price of existing inventory, but you can use the bulk update feature to accomplish that goal. So we'll select price, and we'll select billable as well. Click Next, and here you can enter the new price and the new billable value. So that's how you can impact a bulk update for a couple of these fields.